What's up, YouTube? Thomas L here. With the saddened passing of acclaimed filmmaker John Singleton, I decided to do my top 5 favorite John Singleton movies. He's he's a really amazing filmmaker. I've really loved lots of his work, and boy, he's gone way too soon. Believe it or not, he was the first African American director to get nominated for Best Director at the Oscars. He did lots of really interesting stuff over the years. And that being said, here's my 5 favorite Singleton movies. All right, coming in at number 5 is the movie Four Brothers. It's where an inner city Detroit foster mother is murdered in a Bach holdup, and 4 of her now grown adopted children suspect it was no random killing. You got Garrett Hedlund playing a rising musician Jack, a former Marine Angel played by Tyrese Gibson, hot-headed jockey player named Bobby played by Mark Wahlberg, and a settled down husband and father named Jeremiah played by Andre Benjamin go on the hunt for the neighborhood criminal kingpin named Victor Sweet played by Chiwetel Ejiofor, who they believe was probably the person responsible for the murder. This movie is pretty much a movie about brotherhood. The 4 leads, Wahlberg was great. They all had really good chemistry with one another. Singleton directed them really well here. And the one who plays the mother, she was pretty good in her parts. The actress name is Fiona Flanagan. She was terrific here. Really good crime film, and not to mention Sofia Vergara was also in this movie. It was pretty intense at times. Really awesome little film. And I remember hearing word that they were supposed to do like a sequel to this before, but that never really came to be. But Four Brothers is such a really trailblazing crime film, and if you guys never seen it, I highly recommend it. It's a really good film. All right, coming in at number 4 is Poetic Justice. Now, this film stars Janet Jackson and Tupac. Now, Tupac, I gotta say, besides just being a rapper, Tupac was actually a really good actor. He of course was in Juice, and he was terrific in Poetic Justice. Like, he had great chemistry with Janet Jackson. In it, Janet Jackson, plays a hairdresser who's like grieving after the murder of her boyfriend, and so Justice, of course, played by Jackson, writes a poetry to deal with the pain of her loss, and so to get to Oakland to attend the convention because of her broken down car. Justice ends up getting a lift with her friend named Aisha, played by Oscar winning actress Regina King, as well as Aisha's postal worker boyfriend named Chicago, played by Joe Torre. And so along for the ride is Chicago's co-worker named Lucky, played by Tupac, who ends up also falling for justice and all, and like romance kindle here. Poetic Justice, I thought it was really good. It had Janet Jackson and Tupac both had really good chemistry with one another. And John Singleton, he directed this movie pretty well. Had some pretty interesting music in it. Had a pretty cool soundtrack to it. It has to have a really good soundtrack since 2 of the leads are, of course, musicians. That being Jackson and Shakur. And this movie also made me become a fan of Janet Jackson's acting. I've of course been a fan of her music, but before I saw this, I never really thought much of her acting. But I gotta say, Janet Jackson was pretty decent in this movie, and her chemistry with Tupac really sells this movie. Really amazing film. Definitely check out Poetic Justice. It's another Singleton movie worth checking out. All right, coming in at number 3 is Higher Learner. Learning, I always keep calling it Learner. Anyway, it's called Higher Learning. In the film, it's like the powerful portrait of college life in the 1990s, and it's about a group of incoming freshmen at Columbus universities, including a a varsity athlete named Malik Williams, played by Omar Epps, an awkward outcast named Remy, played by Micah Rappaport, and a wide-eyed Christine Connor, played by Christy Swanson, who struggles to find themselves and adjust to a newfound independence. And you had a few other good cast members in this. Like, you also had Ice Cube, Jennifer Connelly. Pretty good cast in this. And, I mean, John Singleton really put up a great cast for this movie. I really like the chemistry, the performances out of all the cast. Like I said, Rappaport was pretty good here. Epps was terrific. Really amazing movie. And it really, Singleton did a great job at portraying a college life in this movie. And really good little film. If you guys never seen Higher Learning, check it out. I mean, it of course helped launch the careers of many other actors, and they were all really good. And Ice Cube was also good in this too. I mean, really good performances by the cast. Coming in at number 2 is Baby Boy. Now, believe it or not, this movie was supposed to star Tupac, but sadly Tupac died before filming of this, so instead, John Singleton cast a then unknown Tyrese Gibson. And actually, I believe this was Tyrese's first feature film, if I'm not mistaken. Then, of course, since Baby Boy, he appeared in the Fast and Furious movies. And he's been in some pretty other interesting stuff since Baby Boy. And also, this movie was the first... this movie also introduced Taraji P. Henson to the world. Then since Baby Boy, Taraji P. Henson has done stuff like House on Float, which Singleton, by the way, produced, Empire, and lots of other interesting stuff. And also Snoop Dogg was in this, and I thought Snoop Dogg was terrific. I mean, sometimes Snoop Dogg's acting could get a little, I don't know, could get a little questionable, but I thought Snoop Dogg stole lots of scenes in this movie. And also, Cuba Gooding Jr.'s brother was also in this. Ving Rhames was great. Some really good cast members. I mean, the film tells the story of Jody, played by Tyrese Gibson, who's a misguided 20-year-old man who is really just a baby boy, finally forced kicking and screaming to face the commitments of the real world, of the real life, I meant to say. And he's streetwise and jobless, and he has and he also has fathered 2 children by 2 different women. Of course, one of which is played by Taraji P. Henson, and the other one is played by Tamara Bass. And he also still lives with his own mother, who he can't seem to strike a balance or find a direction in his chaotic life and all. And his mother is also dating a not so good guy played by Ving Rhames. Ving Rhames was terrific in this movie, and John Singleton directed this movie pretty well. Every time someone tells me that Tyrese Gibson can act, I always bring Baby Boy into the mix. Because Tyrese Gibson I thought he was terrific in Baby Boy. And yeah, this movie actually made me kind of become a fan of Tyrese. And like I said, since then, since Baby Boy, he's of course been in some other high profile stuff, whether it be Fast and Furious or the Transformers franchise or anything like that. But yeah, Baby Boy is really good. And like I said, Snoop Dogg, I really love Snoop Dogg in this movie. And I remember hearing word that they were supposed to do a sequel, but with the sadden passing of John Singleton, I think a sequel now is questionable, to be honest, yeah. Because, I mean, I guess you could get another director to replace him, but I don't know. Who could you get to replace John Singleton? He directed this movie really perfectly, and... But anyway, Baby Boy, if you guys never had a chance to check out Baby Boy, he also has a cool soundtrack. The song is, of course, titled Baby Boy. No, I think it was called I Am a Baby Boy, something like that. It's a really good movie, good soundtrack. Definitely check out Baby Boy if you've never seen it. Okay, my number 1 favorite John Singleton movie is a no-brainer. It's pretty much the movie that put John Singleton on the map. And it put lots of other actors on the map, by the way. My number 1 pick is Boys in the Hood. This movie was a trailblazing. It's a terrific film. It's Singleton's masterpiece. It, of course, broke out lots of actors, including Cuba Gooding Jr., Ice Cube, Neil Long broke out in this. Let's see. Morris Chestnut also broke out with this movie. Man, I always keep forgetting Morris Chestnut was in this. Anyway, and Boys in the Hood scored an Oscar nomination for Best Picture, and believe it or not, John Singleton. I think I already mentioned this, but John Singleton, of course, was the first African American to get an Oscar nomination for Best Director, and well deserving. I gotta say there could I don't know. I think there could have been an argument made that he probably should have won this. I mean, yeah. I think he was nominated with a couple other people. Like, I think he was nominated with Martin Scorsese, and I can't remember who he lost to though. I think he lost against. I think he lost to Kevin Costner for. No. This movie got released in 1991. Can't remember who he lost to be honest with you, but overall, I think he should have probably won his Oscar for this because I think the movie probably could have had a shot at winning Best Picture. Can't remember what it lost against you though, but still, Boys in the Hood it's a terrific movie. You know, great performances by the cast. Junior, it's pretty much the movie that put Cuba Gooding Jr. on the map. I mean, before this, Cuba Gooding Jr. was had a part in Coming to America, but it was Boys in the Hood that really put his career on high alert. And Ice Cube, of course, before this, he was part of NWA. Like, he just got NWA together, and this was, his first feature film. And Ice Cube, he was amazing in this movie. And not to mention Lawrence Fishburne, who, I believe back then he went by Larry Fishburne. But, yeah, Boys in the Hood it's a 90s masterpiece. It's a great movie. I mean, if you guys never had a chance to check out Boys in the Hood by now, do yourself a favor, if it's on Netflix, if it's on TV or anything, check out Boys in the Hood. I mean, John Singleton's first feature film, and he nailed it out of the park. Terrific movie, and yeah, definitely a really good film. Anyway, that's pretty much it. Let me do the quick rundown. Number 5, Four Brothers. 4, Poetic Justice. 3, Higher Learning. 2, Baby Boy. 1, Boys in the Hood. Now, John Singleton has done more than 5. Let me. I really like Too Fast, Too Furious. I mean, that movie wasn't as good as the other Fast and Furious franchise, but I still really enjoyed it. Let's see. Abduction. That movie, Abduction, that he did with Taylor Lautner, got a lot of hate, but I thought it was pretty fun. Let's see. Shaft with Sam Jackson. With the new Shaft coming out, I'm kind of hoping maybe Tim Story and company would do something to honor, do something in the movie to honor John Singleton. Like at the end of Shaft, put tagline, put a wording that says, "In loving memory of John Singleton." Because I mean, his Shaft movie I really enjoyed the Shaft movie. With Sam Jackson, that was really fun. Let's see, what else did he do? He did the movie Rosewood, which I admit that's probably one of his weakest movies, but I still thought it was pretty decent. He of course was a producer on Michael Jackson's "Remember the Time" video. He was a producer on 8 Mile, some pretty good stuff. And believe it or not, he was supposed to direct a Luke Cage movie back in the day, but I believe Tyrese Gibson was supposed to star on that, but that never came to fruition. It's a shame because I would love to have seen him tackle a comic book film, but sadly it never happened. Anyway, let me leave you guys. What are some of your favorite John Singleton movies? Drop a comment below. Don't forget to like, subscribe, hit that bell for more notifications. This here is Tom Sells signing off.